Well, Molly, right in front. 48 hours away from one of the biggest nights in UK MMA history. What are your thoughts so close to this fight card?
Um, just really calm. I think, look, we've done the hard work for a very, very, very long time, and I feel like it's a bit of a homecoming for British MMA. I think there's 9 people on this card who I've shared a card with, I've shared a warm-up room with, I've won world titles with, or a world title with them, and yeah, it feels nice we're home, and I haven't had to travel a million hours to get there, and I haven't had to be on a plane and watch everyone else eat and have boiled eggs, do you know what I mean, and water load on a plane, and we had a nice trip down in the car, and I don't know, I just feel like it's like a little Molly and Paddy show again, and it's just really nice, to be honest with you.
Did see you post something? Is this correct that you're the first female on the main card to fight in the
On the
O2?
UFC
Yeah.
London, yeah.
So what's that like, making history in that?
I'm used to it now, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm only messing. Modest, aren't I? No, I don't really think about it. I don't try and get lost in it, because when I have, if you look at UFC Liverpool, it didn't end too well, did it? So we win or we learn. So I've learned, keep your fucking head down and go and get the job done, and then go and get on the aisle for 3 months. So I'm here to do my job and enjoy myself, and I'm not putting pressure on myself anymore.
And you kind of touched upon it. There's a lot of fighters on this card that you've shared cards with. Back stateside, we hear a lot about this golden era of MMA in England right now. Can you feel it this week, now that we are getting closer to it? Is the buzz reaching a fever point right now from the fans?
From the fans, most definitely. Like, in the lockdown, I would go on fan forums and watch like the UFCs with the fans on Zoom, and we was always talking about this moment and this day and what we're about to receive today. And I would say 2013, I think we've been fighting together, predominantly most of us, and I just seen little Corey McKenna out there in 2014. I had sparring rounds with her when she was 15. I was an amateur, she was an amateur, and it's so mad to see how far that we've all come, and that we're here, and we've paid our dues, and we really deserve it. And the grappling, the conditioning, the level of athlete that now we are as Europe and as Great Britain, we are matching, and if not better, in certain areas than some Americans. I don't really want to say that, but I have, sorry lads. Yeah, we've earned our dues, do you know what I mean? And I really think the whole camp and the posts that I've put online, it's been about what the fans deserve, and the fans deserve this moment, the media deserves this moment. You deserve to feel and to watch poetry in motion, and what we're all going to give you.
Well, outside of the fight, have you allowed yourself to envision that walk, that entrance, that walkout? I think that's what the parts
Listen,
everyone's excited
Heidi, I'm not sure if she's in here, has messaged me 9 times asking for me song. Meatball, what are you walking out to? What are you walking out to? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I've got like 5 songs that I can't pinpoint. Is it going to be a house song? Do you just leave that to Patrick because you're never going to beat his walkout? Do you come out to Zombies because it's Paddy's week and like they deserve a bit of credit? Like, every day my mantra, I go over it in my head, and whether I'm walking to the gym or I'm going on a run, I envision that walk every single fucking day. And I just can't wait to get to the crowd, to get to the cage, bow to the fans for coming and thanking them, bow to the cage, show me respect, shut the doors, and just land that face punch or kick.
And unrelated to this fight, last thing, you gave me a lot of grief on Twitter yesterday for my Nando's order. What did I do wrong?
Right, let's start.
This is the first time I've ever been.
Like, I'm not even asked. No peri salt, no peronaise. I think you got medium. You got broccoli.
I didn't order the broccoli.
You got veg from
Yeah.
Nando's. Look, you get a burger, ask for extra halloumi cheese, or chicken thighs. Get some coleslaw, double up on the chips, double up on the carbs. I didn't see one Savannah Dry, which is the cider from there. And you didn't get a dessert at the Nate. What the hell?
Next time. Sorry. I apologize.
No, don't worry, lad. I'll take you next time.
Okay.
Molly, when you consider the Gillian Robertson fight back in Liverpool and you see where you are now, you know, you're one of the best loved fighters in the UK. You seem to be so confident in yourself. How different is the Molly McCann that's sitting in front of us today than the Molly that lost that night in Liverpool?
have to work on myself every single day to be who I am, and I don't just wake up like Patrick and I just knows, you know, like I've suffered real horrific losses in this game, and I have to work on myself and I have to reaffirm. It's just affirmations for me, and then when I affirm who I am and then I go to train, the training is what makes me think, oh, fucking hell, yeah, you are all right. Do you know what I mean? But I'm always cautious, I'm never overzealous, and I'm never overconfident, and as long as I always bring that, I know I can always, I'm not setting myself up to fail. Do you know what I mean? I can joke with everyone in here, I can have a laugh when we're training, not in the session, but pre and post, have a laugh. But you watch me or anyone in our gym, when it's hitting the pads, taking down submissions, ground and pound, it's 100% go time. And yeah, I focus a little bit more on being a Scouser, and just being a little bit more rough around the edges and not being as polished off as what I become.
What's the buzz like in Liverpool? Because obviously
God, it hasn't stopped since September. Honest to Jesus, like, we walk down the street, we can't go anywhere, and it's a real privilege and an honour to have that notoriety and to have that respect that we are carrying a city on our shoulders, and it's not pressure because we're just being us. Our gym or my training partners or even Patrick, we're just being us, and I've said it before and like I'll reiterate again, this is for the fans, this is for the city, and we just want to put them on show, and it's just a very exciting time, and there's not a lot going on for Evertonians right now, so I'm like flying at the flag of a club and all around the world, and or maybe just Liverpool and Wigan, but yeah, we just got to do it for them.
I feel like I know most of the lingo, right, with the Scouse people being from Ireland, but one thing I don't understand, and I have to ask you, yeah, it is come hesky. I need to know what it means. I don't understand.
Here we go, right, so there's a famous video who went on TikTok. There was a rapper in Liverpool, and his dog is actually called Esky, but it sounds like he says Hesky, and everyone thinks Scouser, Emil Heskey. So there's a dead rat on the floor, right, guys, and his dog walks over to it and sniffs it, and he goes, "What? Look, Heskey, that thing is hungry. Come, Heskey, come, Heskey." So I should have done it to all yous because you're eating, you bastards. But in Liverpool now, if someone goes to eat, and you know, when you see them eat, and they're like, oh, you record them and you go, "Come, Heskey, that thing is hungry," and then you put it online and just like embarrass them, to be fair. So it's Scouse meme history, and in when we was on our way to Vegas, even Adam Ventry sitting down here now, he was sat in the seat in front of me, and I was like sat behind, and he's eating on the plane, and you know, like, you have a telly in front of your seat, so I can just see his image, like his reflection, and I'm watching him eating this burger, and I'm going, "Come, Heskey," and it just lightens the mood. But in the fight or in training, I used to go, if we hit someone hard, I go, "Oh, proper Heskey fight, yeah." So in the last fight, it's funny, like, that last 30 seconds, Paul Rimmer goes, "Come, Heskey," so I would just go, put my hands down, and just start levering it. So you'll probably hear them all shouting it now in the next fight, "Come, Heskey," but yeah.
Ta-ra for now.
Ta-da, lad.
Hi, Molly.
You got in there quick, son.
Yeah, I've been waiting. How are you anyway?
I'm alright. I'm really haven't seen anything like this for a while, so it's a belter.
Firstly, I just want to say, look at you, BT Sport feature
I
film.
thought you was going to say me hair and me
documentary.
Botox then, lad. I know, yeah, I know.
That was later. Let's do the formal stuff first. But yeah, BT Sport feature film / documentary. I think it came out last night or something.
Yeah, 10:30. Well, about 10:40 because Man United are poo. And the show ran over.
How does that make you feel?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to go, there's a premiere at the BT studio on Thursday, so I'm going to shoot down there because I haven't got to cut much weight or any at all. So I'm very, very excited to go and watch it, mate.
And just talking a little bit about your last fight. Going into the fight, you've spoken about quite openly how it was a lot of pressure and you felt like you were genuinely fighting for your contract.
I just
want to say, like, now with the vibe that it is, how much better does it feel that you don't have that pressure anymore and you can be a bit more relaxed? Just put into words, if you can, how much better that feeling is for you right now.
Ultimately, one of the greatest to ever do it, the GOAT, said, Katie Taylor, pressure is privilege. So to be under this banner and fighting the best of the best, you will always feel that, or I will, because that's who I am. And sometimes I've placed too much pressure on my own head, and then the performances you can see, and then I still feel as it, not added pressure, but I still feel the pressure now. It's like, I feel like I have a backpack on my back every day, and when I train and cut weight and the closer we get to the fight, I take like rocks out of it. And right now I think you can see, like, I lashed the backpack about a week ago and I'm absolutely flying, but I'd be naive and a liar to say that come fight night and when I'm on my way to the hotel that I'm not going to have jelly legs and I'm not going to be anxious. But you get the best Molly when my back's against the wall and when I still have a bit of that, so it's healthy to still have it there.
And just finally, Molly, a bit of a cheeky comparison here, but
It's not Nando's, is it? Or
nah,
Everton?
I've done that one with earlier with Dan Hooker, but and hopefully you don't head kick me for this. But just on your last fight, it almost felt as if it was kind of like you were facing a relegation battle. And you said you're a big Everton fan, who are at the moment, let's face it, they're facing a bit of a relegation battle at the moment. If there's any advice or any lessons that you can give them, in the sense that
Right,
how you got out of your one,
every single camera, get this sent to Everton Football Club.
what would you say to them right now?
The board and the club is actually showing the players and the staff messages from fans, messages from season ticket holders, videos, phone calls, everything to give them a bit of motivation. Go and watch Meatball Molly documentary and then go and play a fucking game of football. What it means to wear that badge is what it means for me to represent my city and where I'm from. Nil satis nisi optimum, nothing but the best is good enough, now go and fucking give it.
Good luck on Saturday, Molly.
Molly, just at the back here.
Hiya, love.
Hiya. Talk a little bit about your opponent, Luana Carolina. What did you think when her name was put forward to you?
Long and rangy fucker. I just said that before next door. She is an amazing striker. She's another Brazilian, number 8 for me. It's nothing I haven't seen before. It's not a different look I've never seen before, other than I've never fought a southpaw in the UFC. She comes from good stock. She's a great fighter. Lad, keep them and have some forks still. She comes from great stock. She is a fighter as much as myself. I've watched every one of her fights live, but I've watched the breakdown of her movements, what she goes back to, what she likes to attack with, and I only have to see that once with any fighter, because I think if you watch someone, Luana's never fought me, facts, never fought anyone like me, so her reactions isn't going to be the same with anyone else, so I can't give her respect in a certain movement pattern because she won't react the same to me, it's just facts. So I try not to give her too much respect in that sense, but the respect of how much of a gangster she is and how much she likes to bring it is very much still there. And I've worked really hard every single day, and just to give the respect to where she deserves and to the notoriety of where I am on the card. I've added training sessions to this camp. I've brought in my boxing coach. I've added extra, done extra. Even when I thought that I can't, I found it in me to do so. I'm ready to give her the hardest fucking night of her life.
Is there anything that stands out to you that you think you need to watch out for on Saturday with her?
Look, I've got the littlest range in the UFC, facts, and she's got long arms and legs, so I give her the same respect as everyone else gets. Negate range, negate distance, come Heskia.
And you said obviously history in the making for you on this card. How do you see yourself getting your hand raised on Saturday night?
We've said it before, and I said it with, like, before the UFC London got cancelled, I'd done a big interview with Nick Peter, and it was like, we're going to finally get this finish at deserve, and putting all this pressure on this finish, but I just feel as if, me and Vince were speaking about it a lot, like, in September, everything was aligned for us to get the performance and to get a new contract, and I just feel like I'm not scared of my ability, and I'm ready to just keep going. I mean, like, I've got a resting heart rate of like 39 and 40 beats per minute at the minute, which basically means I can be fifth gear for 15 minutes if I need to be. And I'm going to do anything I can to get a finish. I don't know what round, and I'm generally saying this, I don't know if I'll submit it, because we've worked now for the last, 4 years since Gillian ruined my life. I've worked every day near enough in the gym on my jiu-jitsu, so she best be careful.
And I saw you're working with weapons down, gloves up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that and what that means to you?
Yeah, it's an initiative. It's run by a charity in Liverpool now. It's fronted by a famous boxer, Tony Bellew, and a famous Liverpool legend in Billy Moore. But basically, you'll be able to understand the knife crime in the country and in a city, urban cities, or there's just no one's fighting like they used to back in the day. Everyone's carrying a blade for safety. And what can I do to help where I'm from? I released a book to help my one community. How can I help another community where I'm from? And they basically promote boxing sessions to provide routine and fitness, and then they'll have classroom sessions in the afternoon where they learn labouring or anything that kind of needs, like is it a CIS card? SIS? CSI and all that, I'm thinking, aren't I? Oh yeah. And then they put into work, so it's not like, here's the tools, fuck off, go and do it on yourself. Like, from the day you step into the door until the day you finished, you'll have a little mini transformation, and you will get a full-time job or an apprenticeship at the end of it. And I think that's sometimes where other initiatives may lack, and there's not a finished and an end product. And I basically spoke to them and I said, I think it needs like a woman's touch on the end of it, because there's not many women who do it, and I think people will respect me in my area and know that if they've got like a bit of a bad attitude, if they're going to speak to me like shit, it's not going to go down very well. So they'll have that respect there with me. And yeah, and if I can bring a positive light on what's going on and bring more eyes to it, maybe more sponsors. They're looking to use it in the Commonwealth Games as an umbrella partnership. So even in Birmingham, in London, in Liverpool, it's going to be a big movement. So I'm very proud to have my name on that.
Molly, just in front of you. I feel like, obviously, you know, you're the hometown hero and you love to scrap and put on a fight for the fans. But do you feel like a win here will actually make people realise you're a legitimate title contender, and obviously that's your goal to win a belt, so you kind of have to realise that's the important thing as well?
Yeah, thanks for that question, lad. There was a time when I stopped thinking about that, and I just wanted to be a fan favourite, and I just wanted to have the best performance on the night I could, and then that's why I wasn't getting the performances and the decisions. So I had to start reevaluating and thinking about, why am I doing it? Because I'm not doing it to be mediocre. I'm not doing it to be top 10, top 5. Like, I want the belt. If not, I wouldn't do MMA anymore. I wouldn't go to a lesser promotion for more money. I wouldn't be fighting MMA. I'll go back to boxing. So I believe everyone's kind of, they know who I am, and I believe you are right. In a win in a good fashion, I'm ranked again and I'm on my way. And if you think I lost last July, or the July before on Fight Island to Talia Santos, after me she had 2 wins. She's now fighting Shevchenko in June, so why not me?
And lastly, do you wish you were there yesterday to back up Paddy when you got into the hotel scuffle?
Fucking fuming. Honest to God, he goes away for 2 minutes, and what happens? Half of Georgia try and do him in. Look, we roll as one, and a girl or not, that's how we brought up in Liverpool, so we back our own. But we couldn't believe it. Blaze wasn't there recording it. None of us was there to back him, but okay, Scousers don't get knocked out, at least the good ones don't. So he had it on his own. He had his own back, didn't he?
You still got on with a hand sanitizer bottle, but you know.
Well, his eggs went everywhere. He was more fuming about the scrambled eggs getting flung across the floor than he was about the Georgian trying to web him.
Cheers, Molly.
Am I done?
Molly, can I just ask you one question about Paddy, actually? There was a while
Wow.
there when you when you were signed, right?
There was
And
what, lad?
there was a while there where you were signed to the UFC when it didn't. People who were covering Paddy's career closely, he had a hand injury, and we didn't actually know if this was ever going to happen. There was massive doubt actually at one point that he'd ever get to a UFC fight. He's here now. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport. Like his journey has been pretty crazy too, right? On top of yours, do you guys bond through that?
100% there's. I've said to Patrick sometimes, like, when I lost, me and Paddy are the only people to win a world title in the Liverpool Echo Arena, and then the next fight lose them. Oh, well, I didn't lose my title. I signed to the UFC and then got put a kip. But he lost his next fight in there, and I had to ask him, like, how the fucking hell do you deal with this? And he told me, and I learned some valuable lessons off him, and even in terms of, like, the fame and everyone on you, and you'll see with me and him, we don't like to let people down. Team, fans, anyone who wants a picture, anyone who wants our time, like learning how to do all that kind of thing. He done it first, and then obviously he unravelled a little bit, and then I learned from him again, and then he overcome that. And I think a lot of journalists in here, we would have spoke about Paddy's injuries, and was there a point where the whole of us thought, is he ever going to come back? Because it didn't take the first time. He had to get it done again, and then when he lost to Soren back, we was just like, oh, that weren't supposed to happen. Like, this is Paddy. Paddy doesn't lose, you know. And to see him turn into a man in front of our eyes is very inspiring. And he's like the captain of our ship, do you know what I mean? I'm the big sis in the gym, he's the captain, and we learn from each other and push each other through the tough times. And we're very, very fortunate in our way. We share a lot together. And April 1st, 2018, I believe, was the last time I opened and he headlined. And it's not quite the same. He's not headlining, but like I said, me and Vince say, I'm the people's co-main and he's the people's main event. So it feels like we've made it feel this big magnitude of Everton, like we're just back home, and like we're just the kids going out to have a scrap. And I think that's a very positive place to be for us both. And I'm sure the world will know his story after a few more fights, and he'll get into the lulls and the lows, because he's never really had to speak about it, because everyone just wants to know what he washes his hair with, or where he's taking Lenny for a walk, or what he's eating next, do you know what I mean? But with me, you'll always have the deep emotional ride, and with him, you're like, what the fuck's he going to say next? So as a pair, I think we're the yin and the yang, aren't we? Did you just want one?
Yeah, just in terms of, embracing your own journey and being honest about, who you are, how important has that been, that journey been, and how has it impacted your time in the octagon?
Fighting about 19 fights outside the cage, and when I get in there, I feel free. I feel like Everton outside the cage, every journey, life lesson, Everton's kind of seasoned me to not break and to be strong when I'm in there. And people go, where the fucking hell do you just pull it out of? Where'd you find it? And I suppose not only being a gay fighter, but being from Liverpool, or even worse, being an Evertonian, we are just very much accustomed to adversity. And I said it, didn't I, like that the tough times don't last, but tough people do. So the universe and God wouldn't give me a journey and obstacles that I weren't meant to overcome and learn from and push through. So my plan's already written out, and I'm on the course, and if something doesn't go my way, it's why, not poor me. And when you change your mindset to that, you're pretty much able to find a positive out of it all and keep going forward.